Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss a very important play by William Shakespeare, which is The Comedy of Errors. So Shakespeare, as you all know, had written many important tragedies such as King Lear, Hamlet, Othello and Macbeth. So today we are going to discuss a very famous play by William Shakespeare, which is The Comedy of Errors, which had many adaptations worldwide in literature, and even in our Indian cinema we know a comic movie called Angur. Okay, it is an adaptation of this Comedy of Errors. So Angur was written towards the end of the 20th century, we can say, and the story is actually, the plot structure of the story is taken as if we see in the Comedy of Errors. So today we will be discussing in detail the major plot line and also the major themes in the play The Comedy of Errors. You should note that the play is set in the Greek city named Ephesus. Okay, and there are two sets of identical twins. One is Antipholus, named Antipholus. So their twin is actually two people are there, Antipholus of Ephesus and Antipholus of Syracuse. And consecutively there are also twin servants for each of them, that is Dromio of Syracuse and Dromio of Ephesus. So Antipholus of Ephesus have the servant Dromio of Ephesus and vice versa. Antipholus of Syracuse have Dromio of Syracuse as his servant. So that way you need to understand. So four people are involved in that. Because of their mistaken identity, throughout the play we can see the humor due to the mistaken. Actually they are looking identically, so people will mistake them for the other. So that way but actually the important factor you need to notice that their personality and their job and things like that, they are very much different. So because of this reason, too much humor generates and one accuses the other, and that kind of situation occurs in the play. That way you need to know. So because of this mistaken identity, humor is generated. So what Shakespeare tries to depict here is that just by the looks or the facial structures of a person, we cannot judge a person. Okay, so in the play, throughout the play, by looking at the face or the identity of the person, by looking at the face of the person, the identity of the person is actually interpreted by those people, and because of this reason all these problems occur in the play. So you need to note that the farcical elements generated in the play due to the mistaken identity of the individuals is an important theme in the play. So because of this theme, throughout the play humor is generated and people will also understand the folly of the normal human beings living during that particular time period. So we need to know that point. So coming to the plot line of the play, we need to note that at the beginning of the play there is a merchant called Aegeon and also his wife named Emilia, and they have two children who are twins called Antipholus. Each boy is named Antipholus. So later we come to know them as Antipholus of Syracuse and Antipholus of Ephesus. Actually what happened is that this Aegeon, he is a merchant, and during a traveling shipwreck happened and he lost his wife and one of the sons, that is Antipholus of Ephesus is actually lost, and also Emilia too. And due to this reason you need to note that Aegeon and Antipholus of Syracuse, they lived together, and his wife Emilia and Antipholus of Ephesus, they lived together. So they got separated, these two people. Okay, that way it is. And later we can see that this Ephesus and Syracuse, these are actually name of two ancient Greek cities. That's why little bit unfamiliar term it is, Ephesus and Syracuse. So actually Aegeon and Antipholus, the other Antipholus, he is called Antipholus of Syracuse, they lived in the place Syracuse, and the other Emilia and Antipholus of Ephesus, they lived in the place named Ephesus. So what happened is that Aegeon actually continuously go in search of his lost wife and the other son, and also at one point of time he went to Ephesus. So what happened is that actually this Ephesus and Syracuse are actually enemy cities. So there is law actually forbids them to enter into the other land. And because of this reason that Aegeon entered into this Ephesus, he was actually punished to death sentence. So he explained to the Duke what happened, why he went to Ephesus. He actually lost his wife, and in search of his lost son, the other son Antipholus, he went there. So like that way it is. And this Antipholus of Syracuse, who stays with Aegeon, actually decides to go in search of his lost brother, who is Antipholus of Ephesus. And unknowingly, we need to note that Antipholus of Syracuse, he accidentally go to Ephesus in search of his brother without knowing that his mother Emilia and Antipholus of Ephesus is actually staying there. So that there comes the twist or the confusion. Antipholus of Syracuse have a servant, Dromio of Syracuse, and Antipholus of Ephesus also have another servant, Dromio of Ephesus. And the servants, Dromio servants are also twins, and this masters, Antipholus brothers are also identical. So that's why this happens. So both have, it's like a set, one Antipholus and Dromio here, other Antipholus and one other Dromio. So two set of identical twins are there. That means 4 individuals are involved here. So if you watch the movie Ankur, you will get a more clearer picture of this. It is an actually Indian adaptation, like Indian movie. It is not like an award movie or anything. It is more like a comedy movie. So it will be interesting for you. Only the character is different. In movie, we can see Ashok as the master and also the Bahadur as the servants. So here it is a Greek name. It will be difficult to remember, but still this is the original play of which this Ankur is adapted. So you need to know this play. This is also academically also important, and also important for UGC net examinations. So you should know the plot line and also the character names. It is very important. Antipholus of Syracuse actually went to Ephesus in search of his lost mother and brother without knowing that they are actually there. So Antipholus of Ephesus, his Dromio servant is staying there, and this Dromio will see this Antipholus of Syracuse and mistake it that it was that Antipholus of Ephesus. So mistake that it is his master, but he is not the master. This is the other twin. So he will talk as if it is his master. And what happened is that Dromio of Ephesus will not understand the person, because he act very strange. Another personality he have and another job he is doing, and he act like, and Dromio will think like as if Antipholus became mad. His master became mad. Actually, it was not the reason. He was the other person. But Dromio of Ephesus didn't understand that. So that way, that mistaken identity, that confusion will start to take place. So here what we see is that even the other Antipholus of Syracuse also got confused. This Dromio he have Dromio of Syracuse. So he actually gave many tasks to Dromio of Syracuse to do. But Dromio is here. So but actually it is a twin. The servant is also twin, that he didn't understand. So that kind of mistaken identity will get intertwined and confuse the characters throughout the play. And we need to note that this Antipholus of Ephesus have also a beautiful wife called Adriana. So this Dromio of Ephesus, he will mistake this Antipholus of Syracuse as his own master, that is Antipholus of Ephesus, and he will call or he will take him to Antipholus of Ephesus home to have dinner with his wife. Actually, but Antipholus of Syracuse is not even married. So that way, he had to spend time with Antipholus of Ephesus' wife, and other Dromio also will come there. So that way it is. So finally we can see those other two people will be locked inside, and the other twins, which is the original people in the Ephesus, they are locked outside. And also we need to note that because of the difference in characters, they both are actually depicted as something doing illegal activities, became mad, doing infidelity. Those kind of charges are actually given to them. So because of this reason, too much confusion and problems occur. But finally they will understand what happened. They are actually twins, and all of them will join together, and the story will end in a happy manner. So that's how the story is. So now we will talk about the major themes in the play. So first type of theme when we talk about it is, we can say commerce and exchange is an important theme in the play, because most of the people are merchants or businessmen. We can see the beginning itself, Aegeon is a merchant, and he actually does business of gold, etc. And that kind of commerce and exchange element is an important theme in the play. And also you need to note that during the beginning, he is actually fined 1000 marks to pay because he actually intrudes into the other city called Ephesus. So there also some kind of dealing, business dealing, merchant commerce type of dealing take place in the play. So because of this reason, we need to note that commerce and exchange is an important theme in the play. So secondly, when we talk about, we can see that marriage and family is also an important theme, because we can see the wife of Antipholus of Ephesus is there. Actually, she have a sister also named Lucian, and actually their family setup is also seen. Even if you watch Angur movie also, we can see how the family setup is. So it is also important for you to watch the movie. You will get a clearer picture of this comedy of errors. So marriage and family is also an important theme in the play. And when we see, the Aegeon is actually willing to go in search of his lost wife, and that Antipholus of Syracuse, he is also interested to go in search of his lost brother. So that kind of family kind of theme is also an important element in the play, the comedy of errors. That also we need to note. Thirdly, a very important theme we need to note is that appearance and identity is also a very important theme, because of this appearance and reality, just because they look alike, all these problems occur in the comedy. So because of this, humor is generated, audience can enjoy, and also the character suffers because of that. Just because their personality is different, their job is different, they did not understand each other, the servants did not understand each other, and the servant and the master, they don't understand. Because of this, totally it becomes confused. The characters becomes totally confused. So because of this reason, you need to note that appearance and identity is also a very important theme in the play, the comedy of errors. And also in the play, when we see, we will understand that there are many incidents in the play where mistakes and coincidences are much more in the play. So because of luck, because of this coincidence, they will meet each other. Because of that, confusion arises. Later, coincidentally itself, the things will fall into place. That kind of theme is there. So mistakes and coincidence is also an important theme in the play, the comedy of errors. And finally, we need to note that because of the social hierarchy, and people are becoming scapegoats. We can see the condition of Dromio. Dromio is actually more like a slave to those masters, Antipholus brothers. So Antipholus brothers are actually like high caste, higher upper class person. I mean, belong to the upper class. But Dromio brothers, which are Dromio of Syracuse and Dromio of Ephesus, both of them belong to the lower class, and they have to serve as masters. And also, when Antipholus become angry, they will just beat them. That kind of situation it is. And also, because of the situation, social hierarchy, or because of the moral values of the society, they are actually sometimes depicted as some criminals doing infidelity, etc. So this social hierarchy and the elements of this elements that are imposed by the society is also an important theme in the comedy of errors. So that's all for today's video lecture. I hope that you got an idea regarding the play, the comedy of errors. I had discussed the major themes of the play, the summary, and also some contextual details I have discussed. And also make sure that you are watching the movie Angur after this video lecture. This will give you a clearer picture about how the play is, and also the plot line and the story elements in the play. Also you will get a clearer idea. So until we meet next time with some another important topic for your examination, see you and goodbye.